What's your most memorable truth or dare story? Was at a going away party for my best friend after 8th grade, he was moving away. Probably 8 of us, half girls half boys. Nothing crazy is happening, game is about over and I go to the bathroom, it's over when I get back. The hottest girl in school, in my opinion anyway, she was above average and more developed than most, came up to me away from everyone and said she thought I was really cute and asked if I wanted to kiss. So we did, then she asked if I wanted to be her boyfriend, and I was so excited and happy. You guys know what happened after. It honestly messed with my head really badly, I couldn't trust a girlfriend for years after that. It was Halloween and I was at a classmate's place with some of my and their friends. After a while of just talking we decided to play Truth or Dare. The game started out with boring answers and questions, and no one had the balls to choose Dare. So as soon as someone asked me Truth or Dare, I decided to choose Dare, and I could see they all had been waiting for someone to say Dare. I had to strip down naked in front of my classmates and friends. This seems kind of childish now that I'm older, but for a teenager this was pretty serious. After thinking over if I should do it or not, I decided that I should strip down. As soon as I was completely naked my friends and classmates started laughing. I awkwardly joined in on the laughter to not seem insecure, but I was really bad at hiding how awkward I was. For a teenager you would start wondering if they laughed at the fact that I was naked, or if they laughed at my penis for its size. All I have to say is that I searched up the average size of a penis that day. I went to a shitty school. So in elementary if we got too loud in the cafeteria we would have silent days for the rest of the day and like the next day. It was dumb because that's the time for kids to get their energy out. Anyway, me and my friends never really listened, we did a loud whisper. I got dared to stand on top of the table and scream something. I don't remember what it was because it was years ago. I don't usually pass down a dare so I only stood up, I was a bit of a chicken, and screamed whatever it was. I quickly sat down and about shit myself. We started laughing and I thought I was safe until a teacher grabbed my arm and pulled me outside of the cafe and lectured me. I only started to cry a little. There was a group want to play spin the bottle. Memorable part was the bottle landing on me and the girl I had an insane crush on and her saying no. Followed by it landing her and my best mate she only just met. They spent the rest of the night glued to each other's lips. Second time was last year. 2 of us played, we used a dare generator. Mine was to take her bra off with my teeth. Can't complain. I think it was 8th grade, a girl I was friends with dared me to switch clothes with her. It was funny because I was short and chubby and she was tall and thin. She took her clothes off in front of me and it took me by surprise and I did the same. It was pretty weird at first, found out a year later she had a crush on me. We never dated but she was still cool. We were all like 12 to 15 years old and outside in a tent. It started out pretty innocent, but as it went on things got weirder and weirder. Eventually I was dared by my friend to eat out his sister, in front of everyone, and she was the oldest one there. I had never even heard of eating a girl out before this moment and it had to be explained to me. For whatever reason she was actually willing to do it despite basically being volunteered my friend. She just pulled her pants off right there in the tent and I went down. I could also see out of the corner of my eye one of the other guys jerking his dick in his shorts. The dares continued to go even further after that, believe it or not. No one had sex, but many more articles of clothing were removed from various people to say the least. Puberty is a strange time. Was about 13, playing Truth or Dare with my best friend and a couple girls. Picked Dare. Was dared to kiss my best friend. We're both guys. Girls told us they'd kiss if we did. That was enough to make us do it. We did it, and I felt an amazing rush of feelings that was totally absent when I'd kissed girls. While my friend was getting off on watching the girls uphold their part of the bargain, I was wishing I could rewind time and experience our kiss again, so my friend unwittingly awakened my sexuality. My close friend and I were playing Truth or Dare with some other people at a party once. The game quickly turned vulgar. I remember my friend asking me, and I chose Truth. She asked if I masturbate. Yes. We all then had a side conversation about the topic, and she asked me if I would like to FaceTime her and masturbate with her. Fuck yeah. Since then, we're kinda like a sexual frustration reliever for each other. Like her inviting me over because she got a new dildo she wants us both to use or something. Strangely, she claims to be straight. When me and my friends were 15-16, we'd go hang out at the local beachside park after hours and just sit around drinking 3-liter bottles of store-brand cola and goofing off. One night around midnight someone suggested Truth or Dare. On my first turn I choose Truth and the asker started in on a suicide attempt I failed the previous year, trying to get details. It was still a fresh wound for me, my depression and bipolar disorder, so when my second turn came around I picked dare. There was this kid who was part of our group was head over heels in love with me, probably because I was the only person who didn't make fun of him because he was only 5'3" and treated him like a person. I was dared to go into the dark, empty park and do sexual things with him for 10 minutes. I didn't feel the same way about him, but I thought he was very sweet and he was my best friend at the time, so I went into the park with him. He could tell I was uncomfortable, so we sat where no one could see us and we just talked about how much our friendship meant to each other. I told him how his friendship helped me get through life after my illness, and he said he knew I didn't feel the same about him, but he was grateful that I never made him feel like a bad guy for loving me. I told him he could tell the group I let him touch my ass and one of my breasts, his choice as to which side when we returned to the group, and I'd tell everyone that while I didn't see his penis it felt pretty big. We did end up dating a year later and he remains my favorite ex, and the only one I'm on good terms with. I was at my girlfriend's house when she had a slumber party and she dared me to kiss her best friend. I slowly made out with her and I noticed energy from around me that everyone was getting aroused. My girlfriend joined in and everyone else started to take their clothes off and the entire night became an orgy fest. This is the most memorable because I remember getting so drunk that I shit all over the bed and the girls woke up screaming and the mom ran in to see what was going on and I busted laughing. The mom had a poop fetish, so she rubbed her body in the bed, then looked at me and said, "I knew you had an orgy. I want to be your queen, you big boy." I impregnated her and my new stepson was my girlfriend's brother. Good times. I've shared this one in the past. When I was 15, a girl I was trying to date invited my friend and me over to a house where she was babysitting. When we arrived, she was there with 4 of her girlfriends, including her one extremely slutty and rumored STI-wielding friend. After drinking everything in the house she thought the parents wouldn't miss, we played truth or dare. Eventually, the girl I liked dared me to go have sex in the master bedroom with the slut. I passed and took truth, but my friend took the dare and went off with her. They came back out about 5 minutes later, and no one believed they had done anything. 9 months after that, everybody believed them. I was on a field trip with my 2 friends in another state. It was a 3-day overnight field trip, and one night we decided to sneak into the boys' hotel room to go hang out with them. We started out playing Uno but eventually got bored of that and started playing Truth or Dare. Being teenagers, the truths consisted of stuff like body count and first times, and dares ranged from put on 10 shirts to eventually kissing. But we'll get there later. Throughout the trip one of the guys, let's call him Anthony, had been low-key flirting with me, but I brushed it off because I looked like crap and didn't think anyone could find me even remotely attractive at the time. Anyway, back to the game. It's my turn, and when I pick truth one of the guys asks me, "What do you think about Anthony?" With a bit of a clever grin, and Anthony blushes instantly. I just sort of go into how I think he is a really nice guy and pretty cool, and I unexpectedly end it with, "And you know, he's pretty hot too." Anthony is blushing his head off right about now and all the guys are going ooh. The game proceeds and one of my friends asks Anthony, "What do you think about?" Anthony blushes even more and says how he thinks I'm really cute and he has been trying to hang out with me the whole trip and get my attention. So now that it is up in the air that we are both sort of into each other, the next dare is for him to kiss me on the cheek, which he does, but of course not without a good moment of him blushing his head off. Then we are dared to kiss each other. Cue both of low-key flipping out going, "Where's the chapstick?" and me running to the bathroom for a good 30 seconds to compose myself. So we kiss each other for the first time with an audience. Then they dare us to kiss for longer, which we do, again with an audience. Anthony then decides to get back at the 2 playing Cupid by daring them to kiss, which was pretty funny because they definitely were not into it. Eventually it was 5 in the morning and we had to sneak back to our rooms before the chaperones woke up, but not before Anthony and I shared a quick hug, this time our own free will and not a dare. Breakfast was at 6, so we decided there was no point at trying to sleep and we just got ready for the day. Down at breakfast I had to try to keep a straight face when one of the chaperones asked if I slept well. Ended up going to prom with and dating Anthony for a short time, and he is still the best kisser I've ever met.